Have you ever noticed why some people are able to save money, invest, or start their own business at a much younger age, while others work for years and still remain in the same place? At first glance, you might think the reason is simply earning more money. But the truth is very different. Most of the time, the problem isn't how much money you make, it's how well you understand money. Because money isn't just a piece of paper we carry in our wallets. Money is freedom. It is time. It is options. It is the power to make your dreams come true. And in some cases, it is one of the most important tools that can completely change the direction of your life. Today, we're not going to talk about finance using boring terms or complicated charts. Today, we're going to talk about why money is so important, why people should learn about finance, and how small decisions can completely change our future. Because by the end of this video, the way you look at money won't be the same. Most people think they get to know money when they receive their first paycheck. In reality, what they get to know isn't money, it's spending. The paycheck arrives, the bills get paid, shopping begins, credit card debt gets cleared, and by the end of the month, very little is left. Then the same cycle begins again. Months pass, years pass, people keep working, yet they don't feel like they're moving forward. This is exactly the point that many people fail to notice. Earning money and understanding finance are not the same thing. A person can earn a very high income, but without financial knowledge, they can lose everything within just a few years. Another person can start with a much lower income and, through smart decisions, build significant wealth over time. The difference isn't the salary. The difference is the way they think. Finance is less about the mathematics of money and more about human psychology. Most people don't spend because they need something. They spend because of their emotions. They get bored, so they go shopping. They feel down, so they order something. They see a discount and buy something they don't even need. Short-term happiness slowly turns into long-term problems, and that's the most dangerous part. Because the process happens so gradually that people often don't even realize there's a problem. The unnecessary 50, 100, or even 500 liras you spend today may eventually add up to thousands. But the issue isn't just money. The issue is habits. Because habits build the future. Think about it. Every day you make decisions that seem small. One doesn't seem important, then another, then another. Years later, you look back and realize that a huge part of your life is the result of those tiny decisions. People usually believe that major mistakes change lives. In reality, it's the small mistakes repeated over and over again that do. In finance, this is called the compound effect. Small things grow over time. On the positive side and on the negative side, that's exactly why learning finance isn't just about making money. It's about being able to manage your life. Now, I'd like to tell you a very simple sentence that could change your life. If you can't manage your money will start managing you. Because if you're not in control, you're not the one making the decisions. Your spending is controlling you. Your debts are controlling you. Your desires are controlling you. And after a while, even if you're working, you no longer feel free. Perhaps that's the scariest part. Sometimes people don't even realize they're living in chains. They believe they simply need to work harder. But what they really need isn't to work harder. It's to make smarter decisions. That's exactly where finance comes in. Finance teaches you this. Know what you earn. Track what you spend. Protect what you save. And make your money work for you. At first, these sentences may sound very simple, but the world's most successful investors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders follow these exact same principles. Because great wealth is usually built not through huge salaries, but through the right systems. So what do we mean by a system? A system means not having to make the same decision every single morning. If you automatically set aside part of your income for savings, If you know exactly where your money goes, if you continuously invest in improving yourself, and if you use your money not only to consume but also to create, then you've already begun building a system. This is also the basic idea behind starting a business. When you build a business, you don't just earn money, you create value, you solve a problem, you help people, and in return, you earn income. Starting a business doesn't necessarily mean creating a giant company. Maybe you'll start a YouTube channel, maybe you'll develop an app, maybe you'll create a digital product, maybe you'll offer a service. What truly matters is creating something that people genuinely need, because money follows value. The more value you create, the stronger your foundation becomes in the long run. But there's one more important point to remember. Many people never start because they're afraid of failing. Without realizing it, they're actually taking the biggest risk of all. Because doing nothing is also a risk. Staying in the same place for years is also a risk. Not improving yourself is also a risk. Thinking only about today is also a risk. Time is a silent partner. If you use it wisely, it rewards you. If you waste it, it quietly shows you that as well. Maybe you don't have millions of liras in your pocket right now. Maybe you don't own a company yet. Maybe you don't have a large amount of money to invest, but the right decisions you make today can shape the life you'll have tomorrow. Because great success usually doesn't come from great beginnings. It comes from small but consistent steps. Reading a book today, learning a new skill, starting to track your spending, thinking about increasing your sources of income, they all seem small. But years later, you'll realize they were exactly the things that brought you to where you are. That's why finance isn't something to be afraid of. On the contrary, it's knowledge that empowers people. Because the more you understand finance, the less panic you feel, the less uncertainty you experience, the clearer your decisions become, and the more confidently you begin looking toward the future. And the best part is this: finance doesn't just make you wealthier. It makes you more disciplined, more patient, more mindful, and perhaps most importantly, it gives you a sense of control. And a sense of control is one of the most valuable feelings a person can experience. Because now, life no longer carries you wherever it wants. You begin to take control of your own direction. One day, when you look back at today, you may realize that the best decision you ever made was starting to learn about finance. Because money may not be the most important thing in life, but when used wisely, it can give you more time. It can allow you to spend more time with the people you love. It can help you achieve your dreams. And it may help you build the life you've always imagined. So instead of chasing money, first try to understand it. Protect what you earn, know what you spend, invest in yourself, create value, be patient. Because people who understand finance don't just earn more money. They make better decisions, they live more freely, and instead of leaving their future to chance, they build it with their own hands. Perhaps that is what true wealth really is.